In case you had any doubts about the significance of the Supreme Court's decision to strike down the Defence of Marriage Act, consider this. Within a few hours of yesterday's ruling, the Pentagon announced it would extend the health and housing benefits given to opposite-sex spouses to same-sex couples, and said that same-sex spouses would have the same right to be buried alongside war veterans at Arlington National Cemetery. Good morning. Welcome to the News Hub. I'm Michael Casey. With more on the sweeping impact of the ruling ending federal government discrimination against gay couples, Julian Barnes joins us from Washington. Good morning, Julian.
Good morning.
Julian, this was a remarkably fast and comprehensive response from defence officials. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, the background to this is that since the end of Don't Ask, Don't Tell a year ago, the Pentagon has been looking at benefits. Now, earlier this year, they announced that they would be extending some benefits to same-sex partners, but that announcement that came at the beginning of the year really stopped short. None of the really powerful benefits, medical benefits, dental benefits, housing benefits, education benefits could be extended equally because of the Defense of Marriage Act. And so a lot of the research about what needed to be equalized had already been done. So when this ruling came down, the Pentagon was ready to act.
It was a fast move. I mean, given not only now, but also over the last 2 years, you referred to the Don't Ask, Don't Tell law. That was in place just 2 years ago and was seen as, in some respects, a symbol of a kind of a repressed approach from the military toward closeted gays. Now, 2 years later, they're at the vanguard of this change. What does it say about the changing culture within the military itself?
I mean, that's a really good point, and that is something that I think struck a lot of people yesterday. Here is an institution that once on equality for gays was lagging behind the country, where Don't Ask, Don't Tell forced people to stay in the closet and was on the books for a long time. Institution that was really quite conservative when it came to gays and lesbians. Now, the demise of Don't Ask, Don't Tell a couple years ago went remarkably smoothly. There has not really been any, backlash against gay and lesbian service members. And so here you have this transformation over the last couple years to a organization that once was very reluctant to embrace equality for gays and lesbians, now taking it like that's the way it should be. Of course, they want to treat all service members equally, and it was very important for them to come out and say that they're going to do everything they can to make sure benefits are equal.
I think one of the things important to note as well, of course, is that the military has deep penetration into Middle America with bases all across the country, and a very central role that it plays in millions of Americans' lives. So if you've got a changing culture there, is it likely to be an agent of change itself in what is already a rapidly changing set of attitudes towards gay marriage and gay rights generally across the American population?
I think that that's going to be hard to tell because attitudes are changing so quickly. But you raise a good point. We have a lot of movement from service members. I mean, many service members move every 2 or 3 years, and they'll move across the country, across the world. And so you're going to have places where, gay people who are married in the Northeast will move to Texas, to Oklahoma, to wherever there are bases. And you will suddenly see, the Pentagon has made very clear that even those states don't recognize gay marriage, equal benefits will be provided to those couples. And so it's going to push the legal bounds here a little bit.
And what does yesterday's decision by the Pentagon say perhaps about Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel, who clearly was a controversial pick but got through eventually? Was this his drive behind this?
Well, a lot of the research was done under his predecessor, Leon Panetta, who tried to push the benefits to be equalized and ran up against the Defense of Marriage Act. But, Hagel is an interesting figure. He was in part controversial because a decade ago he opposed James Hormel being the first openly gay, more than a decade ago, opposed James Hormel being the first openly gay ambassador. And his transformation on this issue from very conservative, very opposed to equality for gays and lesbians mirrors the transformation that's gone on in a lot of the country, where he's much more open now to equality.
Julian, thank you very much. Fascinating stuff. There'll be more to come, of course, as other government agencies respond to this sweeping decision. Thanks for your time.